Hello, welcome to Cosmic Love Connections with your host, Judy Jewett, co-host, Catherine Lanigan. How are you today, Catherine?
I am fantastic. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you. I'm just so grateful you're here. And today's show is love or non-love. And we're going to dive in. We want everybody to get a glass of water, whatever, sit down, put your feet up. If you're driving, okay, just pay attention. We're going to send a lot of love your way and
That's right.
a lot of love to everybody. And so at the same time, we want to talk about a very powerful subject, and that is love or non-love. So would you please give the description of what that means?
The way that I interpret the non-love is, I have been truly understanding lately that our thoughts and our words are extremely important at this time in humanity's evolving that we're going through, the changes that are happening. I mean, we have so many X flares and sun flares that are changing the DNA in our body, changing everything in our body. People are feeling dizzy, they're feeling tired, they're feeling aches and pains, and they're like, why am I feeling this? I got to go take a nap all the time. It is because whether we do anything or not, the earth is being changed itself. We are being altered. We are rising, we are evolving, we are changing into a more light kind of being. We're actually going to be lighter. We're not going to be this dense body that we carry. Probably won't be here in another 10 years. We'll be much lighter, where we'll eat less. We'll eat different kinds of foods, probably, which right now is probably a very good idea. But all of those thoughts and all of those words that we use, we don't, as a group, a humanity, the group, we do not watch our words, probably at all. When I think of how I used to converse with my parents when and I'm talking 50 years ago, in the late 60s and 1970s, you were respectful of one another. There was respect. There was kindness. When you ask someone, how is your day? I'm fine. How are you today? Now I hear grumps and groans and no answer, or just people will just go like that. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to say anything. Pass somebody on the street, they want to look the other way. They don't want to be noticed. So the thoughts that are going through your head when you are even passing someone, you haven't said anything nice to anybody, but at the same time, your thought is creating your world. So if your thought is, I don't want to be connected to that person, I don't want to say anything nice, I don't want to be a nice person, I just don't want to be involved. That's the other thing. I want to be secluded. I want to be separate because I am separate. They're feeling separate. They're feeling separate from the Creator, but they don't understand that they have a God spark inside them, which is creating. You are creating your world every time you say, I'm having a really bad day and everything is crap, everything. Well, that's what you're going to create. You're going to create some more of that. But if you say, I'm having a blessed day, I'm having a great day, it is raining, but it's beautiful because we sure need the rain, or it's sunny because we really need, the flowers need the sunshine. But if you are pushing yourself, and it takes some pushing, because you've got to change a little bit here too. You've got to pay attention to what you're doing. Push yourself a little bit to be positive, be happy. I can remember years and years ago that I had a person in my life who said, I just can't be around you anymore. I just can't do it anymore. And I said, why? And he said, because you're always happy. You get up in the morning and you're singing. And I said, well, why wouldn't I? What's not to be happy about? I got a roof over my head. I have a job. I like what I do. I have friends. I got food for this week. I don't know what next week will bring, but I actually have some food right now, which I can tell you in my life has not always been the case. There's been plenty of times when I couldn't afford food. But many people don't see it that way. And they're always complaining. I've got friends that are around a little too close around me, even now, and all they do is complain. They never have, it's almost, it's more than just difficult for me to be around them. It's just, I want to run away. I'm just going, how far away from this person can I get? They never smile. When I can remember when my mother had to leave her home here and had to go to an assisted living. And I called her, she was there about 3 months, and I called her and I said, well, I'm going to come over and visit. And she had been complaining about, I want to come to my house. I want to be I don't want to be here anymore. And she wasn't, she was at the end of her days. She wasn't feeling good. And so finally I went over there and she was smiling and stuff. And I said, so something's changed. What's changed? And she said, I have realized why I am here. And I said, what is that? And she said, these people around here, they never smile. And I like to smile. And so I'm smiling at everybody. And I said, that is a wonderful thing. She said, God put me here so that I would smile at these people and I will change their day. Now, how simple is that?
It's very simple.
It is. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference, So, but our thoughts, what I'm trying to say really, in a roundabout way, is right now, with all of the changes that the earth is going through, and they are quantum changes. Our skies are not the same. Our energy is not the same. We are being blasted in a way that humanity has never been blasted before, with gamma rays, cosmic rays, all kinds of energies that we have never felt before, because we have to evolve. We're going to evolve whether we like it or not. If you want to say, I want to stay here, I don't want to go to a new earth, I don't want anything to change. Well, guess what, buddy? You're going to change. Period. It's a force of nature. This is a force of nature. It's going to happen. But in the process of all this, we have been given a tremendous amount of power for those thoughts that are in our head. So those thoughts, each time that you think something, you're going to manifest. This is almost like instant manifestation. So yes, if you want to manifest a new car in your driveway, you better be thinking about exactly what the car is that you want to manifest, because you're going to make it happen. Now, it can manifest in a lot of ways. A deer can hit the car that you already have, and if you don't want another car payment, you better put that into your manifestation. Say, I want to have a car that is payment free, that has low mileage, that runs all the time, that, I want one that defies all snow and ice. That's the car I want. I want them to invent a car that it instantly turns on and all the snow and ice melts off of it. Now that's the car.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay. So
be creative.
Be creative. So we're going to go back a little bit to love and to non-love. And the word non-love came up because the vibration of the planet now, everyone, is 6. It's gone into the 6th dimension. 5D no longer works. So we're going to spend more and more time explaining that, because there's a lot of books out there about got to be 5D. You're not going to go up the level of that non-dual. We want non-dual. We don't want to be driven by fear. We don't want to be driven by lower energies, right? We want to be coming from the love, the happiness that is our natural
correct
ability. That's our
state of being. That's our natural state of being.
Yeah, we want non-dual. And so what has happened is the planet, so we've been working on this 5D energy, and in that 5D energy, when we're talking about the 3rd D or 4D, it is about dark, it is about demonic, it's about evil, it's about doing exorcisms, it's about in the roads and all around you of this, and it's all polarity.
Correct.
And sometimes in that we get rid of hooks and hexes and we do all this stuff. Well, the thing of it is, now at 6D, that's not the reality.
That's right.
So we must speak like it really is, and it's non-love. So there's no judgment. And I'll tell you, Buddha taught this 2,600 years ago, talking about that sometimes there are energies that aren't wholesome. So you don't
Correct.
separate them, you don't pluck them out, you don't make a big deal. In what Buddhism teaches is you just go with it. You don't have attachment, right?
Yeah, don't have any attachment to it.
You don't have attachment. So if we talk now in non-love, now just so you know, listeners, Catherine and I, a month ago, 2 months ago, and 3 months ago, we're talking a different way. We were still talking in 5D.
Right.
You think some of that, right? We were.
Right.
I'll tell you we
Right.
were. And I just got back from a beautiful trip of 6D energy set as high as you can get in California for over 2 weeks, and you were in Egypt. So it's like we came back together saying, we both have been told this is non-love energy. This is non-love.
That's right.
So with non-love, you know what we're talking about. So when you're in love, as what Catherine is saying, this vibration is so high, we're going to create much faster. And
much faster.
Much faster. And the key is that you have to do your work. Your work isn't done. If you haven't gone in and healed at the deepest core DNA level, and we both do the work, right?
Right.
And you have to go to the deepest, and then you clear all that. You have to get to the 6 or to move up into the level,
or even higher, higher.
Yeah.
Because since we got back, you got back and I got back, the messages that are coming in are from levels and levels and levels way beyond that. I mean, I'm shocked at some of the, wow, it's a lot.
So it's right.
And really pure, very pure.
Okay. So the thing is, you know, ascension, if you are part of wanting to be a part of ascension, light workers, you just automatically think, well, yeah, but you have to really understand that. And we'll talk about that in another show. We want to stay with just love and non-love. So to prepare you because Gaia already ascended, and that was in 2018, but now the planet keeps changing. The whole planet, the body of the planet has to ascend. It's the body. Soul, spiritually, Gaia ascended. So now the body, and now there's going to be the great awakening. And we have to be prepared for what is ahead. And the best way to do it is get on your surfboard and love. And you love. It's all about the love. And so if you're going to create in the higher vibration, your thoughts are creating. Your thoughts every minute. Create every minute. And that's what Catherine is saying. We have to pay attention. Now, we're going to share something next show. We don't have time this show to go into it. So there's going to be another level after you've cleared all of your core things, because what you're finding, if you've done the work, and Catherine and we have, and then we think, well, why are these things appearing? It's a whole other level that we're going to talk about, and we'll help you with. So, you know, make sure you tune in next Friday, because that'll be that show. But so with love and non-love, you know, we have to practice. We don't hate. We don't throw stones. We don't despise. We don't have the attachment of another human being.
Right.
Now, if you have a partner, that's kind of hard not to have attachment.
Right.
And be triggered, right? But getting triggered on the road with road rage, or you're getting triggered, and we're picking up energy everywhere. And that's what you're saying. We're not just picking up our energy, you're picking up all of the flares and all of this extra energy that is being thrown out
especially by the media, newspapers, magazines. Every time you open up your computer, whether you don't want it or not, they're blasting you with something that's going to create more fear. It's going to create hatred. It's going to create angst. Like, oh, what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do? You've got to be able to just surround it with love. Just say, I surround you with love, and you're dissipated.
And just take it and go like this. If energy's been around and you're thinking, God, this is heavy, pull it off of you.
Pull
It's
it off. Sometimes it'll
simple
feel
as
sticky.
this.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes
as
it'll
simple.
actually feel right. It's real simple. You just pull it off. Just say, I
Oh,
don't want any of this, forget it,
it's yeah.
There's, and there are a lot of simple things that I remember being taught way back in the 60s and 70s. One is literally when I'm around somebody that is really causing me angst, or a toxic person. And especially when you're at work, you can have a lot of toxic people, is a shower. Remember when, I can't tell you how many bags of Epsom salt I have gone through in my lifetime. And back in the day, we used to have all kinds of bath salts and stuff. Well, I would rub all the salts and just shower them off, and I want all that energy off. I would never go to bed without having a shower. Sometimes, and the old in South Pacific, she said, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair. There is a lot of energy from lower energy people that can get literally in your hair, because it's right by your crown chakra. I was taught this by a spiritual person many, many years ago, and said, many people who are really low energy and everything, they want to go for your hair. They put their hands on your hair, or they play with your hair, or they touch and they're putting energy in your hair because it's close to your crown chakra. Wash your hair. Washes it right away. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just
Yeah. So spiritually, I was shown when I had lived in Texas, Houston, I moved back to Ohio, and I had to get a job, and I had to get something completely different, right? Back in whatever. And I sold cars, by the way, for 5 years.
Yeah.
And did my spiritual work on the side. And Spirit said to me, you take a shower every night.
Every night.
You have to wash off the energy that you've accumulated. Now, I take showers twice a day, right? I take it in the morning because I like it in the morning. Now, not 7 days a week, but most days. And then I always take one. 99% I do at night.
Yeah.
And I always think, oh, I don't want to take one. What have I done today? Can I get away with it? Right. And sometimes I'm like, okay, but listen, if I don't, dreams are weird and all kinds of stuff happens.
It's we've got to remember too, Judy, that there's a lot of folks out there. They are very young, and they haven't been taught these things. They just simple things that we were fortunate enough to be in the world when a lot of the spiritual stuff was coming along, and I can remember mother saying, you never go to bed without washing your face, wash your hands, we were in the summer, you had to wash your feet, your legs, you couldn't have any dirt because, and I thought it was just because she didn't want to wash the sheets all the time. Well, it was also because she was like, no, you need to be clean when you go to sleep so that you don't have any bad dreams. So even then, just little things like that. But a lot of the young people don't know some of the simple things that we had that kept the love. And then when you're around people that there is a lot of love, you can feel that, you can see it. When people have a lot of love in them. Judy and I were talking earlier, and I said something about, it's got to come from the heart. And she said, oh my God, I see sparks coming out of your head, and I've seen that in other people. When you've really got a lot of love coming in, you can see it coming in. Those people, now this is something that I was told just when we came back from Egypt. And I noticed it also, when you came back from the monastery. There are many of us that are doing this work and everything. And in the last month, whether we went someplace or not, we are glowing. Our skin is glowing. We have a glow about us that other people, I mean, I was in the grocery store and this lady said, you know, just a stranger. I don't know this person. She said, you know, you're glowing. And I said, oh, that's nice. And, you know, I used to like, are you in love or something like that? And you had said in love earlier. There is an energy and a frequency, literally an electric frequency that you emit when you're in love. And when you are really putting your whole self into love and doing things that doing what you love, doing it for whom you love, doing it for the love of humanity. I can remember many years ago when I was giving a speech or something, and somebody said something very snide to me at the time. And I said, have you ever just sat and cried for the earth?
Oh.
And he just looked at me and he said, well, why would I want to do that? And I said, well, you know, the angels will cry for the earth. Why wouldn't I? There are so many people that need compassion. There's so many people that need a helping hand. There's so many people that just need you to smile at them. Just that smile. That is so much love coming out. That is a love thing. That's not a non-love is hate and just even in your everyday world, having an argument over which team is better. My baseball team is better than your baseball team. My baseball player is better than your baseball player. I see the kids going to the baseball games and the volleyball games, and the parents are arguing with each other over nothing. Nothing. And I said, you know what? The kids are out there having a good time playing a game. When I was a little kid, we didn't have a scorekeeper or a rules keeper. We just played the game. We played football and flag football in the front yard. We played baseball in the front yard, you know?
Well, we did too, right? There weren't, it was
Yeah.
all,
So
yeah.
so we didn't have parents standing over us, the kids watching this, and the kids are going, look at all that non-love going on. That's what's going on in their head. Look at all that non-love. You're yelling at the kid going, you need to kick better. You need to kick higher. Well, can't the kid just play the game? That's just everyday life. Everyday life. All of that non-love, it keeps building and building, and then it's, you're hating that guy and you're hating the guy on, like you say, the road rage, well, there's, rage at the TV. Turn the TV off, turn on lovely music. We were talking about frequency in music and really nice music and the frequency and how it just settles you down. And we sat outside the other night with some friends, and I just had Frank Sinatra and Cole Porter on, and I had a couple of young people and they said, wow, this is like, what is this music? I said, well, first of all, it is music. It's music. This stuff you listen to isn't music, it may be rhythm, it may be a beat, but it's not music.
You set the stage for it to be calm and quiet, because if you put on the music of today, which would have still been the music of 20 years ago or whatever it is, you got to really go to heartfelt music. It doesn't matter the generation.
It doesn't matter the generation. It's just, like the highest frequency. Yeah, the highest frequency, almost the frequency of love, is Strauss's waltzes. Did you know that?
It's what?
Strauss's waltzes are the highest frequency, the love frequency. And when you're trying to heal someone, if you play Strauss's waltzes, it can heal even cancer. I know, because I had the cancer and I played the music.
Wow. Well, it helped your heart. The cells were singing and happy and all that.
And so I've got all this positivity going on in the body, and then it would cure the cancer.
What I like to do also, that's beautiful. I think it's great you were able, because you're right, you tapped into the power of healing, and it is about love. And I believe everything in life, if you don't have what you want, there's a self-love. There's a self-love component. And this isn't to be hard on yourself. It's just to accept yourself and take
Mhm.
steps forward in what you want. So let's dive into love, because you and I both were born knowing all there is love, right? And
Right.
we were able to recognize if something wasn't love, even if we were
Yeah.
very small, you know, we couldn't communicate it, but we knew that it was the vibration of love. And so let's give some tips of how to start your morning in the most positive way.
Okay.
So, so one
Well,
thing I do is, and because I know when I wake up, if depending on what my thoughts were when I went to bed, if I was really tired, maybe drank a glass of wine, right? Whatever it is, I don't have the best mindset, right? I'm already it could be a challenging energy, but if something especially is on my mind, then I may wake up and may be already in this, my imprints of why I'm not quite happy, why I want this, what I need. And so I will turn to meditation, yoga meditation, Isha yoga. However, that doesn't always get me in the zone first thing in the morning. My mind is ready to move. Like I'm
mhm.
up. And so I have to read something. I have to connect to a high vibration. And then all of a sudden I can feel my cells tingle and the heart, right? It's all about the heart. And then I
Yeah.
can feel this love.
Yeah.
So I have to find one of those areas to go to. What about you, Catherine? What do you do to start to get in that really high vibration of love?
The first when first of all, when I'm waking up, when I'm just not quite awake yet, um, I do have a lot of angels that come in and give me all kinds of messages. That's when I get a lot of downloads. But the first thing I say is I always say, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, 9 times for this day. I'm alive. And now this morning, I think I told you, I woke up suddenly because I heard thunder and I just went, oh my God. We had friends over. And so I had all the cushions outside on my patio, on the couches and the table and chairs and everything. And I don't like it when they get wet because then I can't go sit back out there as soon as it's dry. So I haul them into the house, which is not that big a deal, but it's a lot of cushions. But even as I was pulling the cushions in and I'm in my pajamas and I'm running out and I was saying, thank you for this rain. We need this rain so much for the, and it was already lightning and thundering. I mean, for the plants and everything. And then as I'm now, Bill will meditate right away when he wakes up. I mean, immediately he meditates. But I have a whole thing where I'm saying prayers and mine's all gratitude. It's all grounded in gratitude while I'm making the coffee and getting the house going and turning on computers or whatever I'm doing. So I feel this love coming in, and sometimes I will hear or see my angels. I mean, really and truly, or I can feel them. Like not like they're showing up like that, but I mean, out of the corner of my eye, that kind of thing. I'll say, "Oh my God, there's one of my guides or an angel or something." So mornings, I am a morning person. I love the morning. I get up and I'm happy and I'm truly in a state of gratitude. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's a good time to manifest.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
is.
I can get there, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm writing down things I need to do. And then I have a puppy I have to take out for a walk. And
Ah,
and
yeah,
so, but then, sometimes I wish I could just sit there longer, but then you know what? She gets me going and her and I
yeah.
out, and then I commune with Gaia, right?
I was gonna say is then you're out in nature, and that to me is just it's
It is.
heavenly. It's heavenly, you
It
know.
is. It's just so then it centers me,
Yes.
right? Then I get centered. I'm more embodied. I've got nature. And I'm so much in love with my little puppy. So that is beautiful and wonderful. And
Yeah.
then if I come to my office, I always, almost always, not every time, but I almost always meditate here. And I do it then when my mind in the afternoon is usually when I've quieted down, and then that's the best time for me to get messages. Early morning, like you said.
Yeah, early
Or-
morning.
Yeah, or get them to know, something I need to know, or something that's happening,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever, right? We're getting the messages.
Yeah.
So the point is, we are aware, no matter what thoughts we're having, we know
Right.
we have to do a disruptor. Now, we could do a disruptor. We could think of one thing that we could just flash that will disrupt any kind of, and we know the self-talk is negative, and we don't mean it, because we know
Yeah.
we've cleared all of our stuff. Those are called imprints, right? So those may come up, but we still have to do all the other stuff. And there are people that wake up from an alarm clock and grab something to drink and leave. That's how they do it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it. I have to get up 2 to 3 hours before my day gets started. And I started that when I lived in Houston.
Did you?
I Am Presence, all those I Am Presence books.
Yeah.
And I couldn't put them down. And I would start early morning, and before I had to go work corporate America.
Yeah.
And that's one reason I need a lot of time in the morning, is I just need time. I need to reflect. I need to just feel that heart connection with everyone. So that's what we're inviting everyone to comment about. What do you do to stay positive?
Yeah. What do you do in the morning to do? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's love and non-love. It's love and non-love. Those are the two things we want you to focus on this week, to change what you're saying. Instead of getting angry, you might immediately remember, oh, I'm having an issue with non-love. Because remember, word non-love is a high vibration. Even though love, well, let me say that differently. It's not a high vibration, but it's a vibration that is telling you it's not love. So you're not getting freaked out and measuring it and getting into your stuff.
Right.
So use it non-love.
Right. Well said. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And with that, it is time for us to go. We will be back next week, and we're going to be talking about, I believe, discrimination.
Discrimination.
Love and discrimination.
Yes.
Love is going to be in all of our titles, because what do we do? Love is what it's about. Everything is love. So
especially with this ascension, it's the most vital thing that we need to think about and have and do.
It is love. So with that, namaste.
Namaste.